dump and grit that I erase. Play my favorite. I'm like Nana at the compliment your composition. Legato wants to call it. Our ratios ain't perfect.
Welcome, everyone, to the NBA on 2K Sports.
Here we go.
I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. A contest in the West. We'll see if the Timberwolves can please this home crowd. Here's Randall. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And how about the touch there inside? And that's where Randall likes to get the ball, and you can see why.
Now here's Curry. Right side, Green. Here's Butler. Randall grabs the board.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And the defense of the Timberwolves stand as good as it gets.
Well, Kevin, they can compete with anyone when it comes to size, not just up front, but on the wings. They're long and athletic, but it all comes down to execution, and they get it done. Well, we know Edwards has an outstanding skill set, but what makes him truly special is his competitive will and ability. To handle high-pressure moments.
Here's Podziemski. Three-pointer. And that's good. Stephen Curry for three.
Honestly, guys, Curry is the best three-point shooter I've ever seen.
Here's Edwards. Rebound by Butler. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Shot by Podziemski, no good. Pass to Conley. And then Brandon slams it in.
You got to have guts and hops to pull off a dunk like that. Randall got a lot of both.
Back to Curry. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Curry's got 5 now.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Yeah, he didn't let the defense affect him there. He just kept his focus.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Now, I asked Coach what the game plan was when it comes to defending Jimmy Butler, and he said to me, we have to make sure we match his energy level. Jimmy is one of those guys that goes all out every second. We want our guys to do the same on D. It won't be easy, but they think they found a way to contain him. Guys?
Thank you, David. Edwards can't hit. The Warriors lead it. And despite his young age, Coach Van Gundy, Anthony Edwards' leadership qualities growing day by day.
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot of it's because he is great at both ends of the court. Confident, charismatic, upbeat. He's learning that delicate balance between taking over a game and bringing his teammates along for the ride.
To halt the run. And finished off by Edwards.
Wow, this is how explosive Edwards can be. He finishes with such force at the rim.
Podziemski grabs the board. And here's Curry, who brings it up for the Warriors. Pass to Green. Back to Curry. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. He's got 10.
It doesn't matter if it's off the bounce or off the catch. Curry never loses rhythm on his jump shot.
Now here's McDaniels. Still yet to score. Here's Conley. Green with the block.
No matter what night it is, Green seems to intimidate and more often than not succeed.
And the Warriors making a change here. Warriors leading by 4. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Butler. Outside, Kuminga. Off target with his 3. And the Timberwolves with possession. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
McDaniels in the post. The shot that time, not on target. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Kuminga goes in. And that one drops for him.
Well, with his skill and confidence with the ball, if you put him in position, he'll reward you.
Pass to McDaniels. Randall left side. And Randall throws it down.
A big man with a big finish.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Warriors. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back to the action in just 14. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game, stats-wise?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
KYP, know your personnel. So far, good attention to the scouting report.
Here's Edwards. Gobert trying to get open. And the basket by Edwards. Greg, what a great time to be a fan of basketball. Not just in the NBA, but all over the world.
Absolutely, Kevin. The sport just continues to grow, and there's increased value being placed on all-around skill. Even in youth basketball, and I think that bodes well for the future of the game.
Just 3 to shoot. It's Curry outside. Timberwolves trail. Here's Edwards. The muscle from Edwards.
Just a ferocious play by Edwards, taking the contact but staying committed to his finish.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, Rudy Gobert has tied for the most Defensive Player of the Year awards all time, but he's challenging himself to do more offensively. He said it's all about just being okay with missing or making mistakes, freeing my mind and doing the things that I work on to get out of the shell that I was being put in. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David Aldridge, we thank you for that report. Greg, since reaching 5 consecutive NBA Finals, the Warriors have missed the playoffs 3 of the past 5 years.
And to be fair, they did go 46-36 last season. They were 10 games over 500 last year. So they weren't a bad team, but Golden State doesn't just expect to be in the play-in. They want to be a contender.
And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Curry on the drive. Miller grabs the miss. Minnesota in the lead. Alexander Walker with the ball. He has yet to score. Pass to DiVincenzo. 6 to shoot. And he jams it with authority.
Hey, dunks aren't always for the big fellas.
A serious power move from the point.
Well, in this league, you can see powerful plays from anyone and anywhere. Your position no longer dictates your scoring options.
Warriors trail by 4. Guys are looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
I mean, the range is just unreal. Curry can make even the toughest shots look easy.
DiVincenzo.
Out of bounds.
It's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Miller.
Yeah, not a great pass there. You got to be on the same page as your teammates.
Pass to Podziemski. And here is Curry. 13 points in the game. Here's Kuminga. Launches a 3. Again, Curry missing. .149 left from the first half of basketball. Pass to Ingles. Back to Alexander Walker. Timberwolves passing it around. Reed misses. The Warriors trailing. Hey, Coach, what about Naz Reid after going undrafted back in 2019? He is really showing him, isn't he?
Well, Kevin, what a story. Uncommon skill level for a player of his size. He can shoot the ball. He can handle the ball. He's got a lot in his arsenal.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Outside Curry. Fires from deep. Curry from 3.
On the offensive end, Curry both prolific and efficient.
Here's DiVincenzo. Right on the bucket. DiVincenzo's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves. Here's Curry with the drive. The shot missing. Down low. Here's Miller. And Miller throws it down hard. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. They get it back. And Reed throws it down.
There's no bigger play in a close game than a putback slam.
Oh, and that one's got them all hyped up. Wow.
Yes, some guys shrink in big moments, and some rise to the occasion.
Curry always finds a way, this time inside.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Timberwolves lead by 2. From Target Center, back in a moment. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And many around the league believe Curry doesn't get enough fouls called in his favor. GA, what do you think?
There could be some truth to that. He gets held and grabbed more than anyone when running off screens, but especially blatant on drives to the rim.
Stan, we talk about this every night. So much great young talent coming into the NBA. Is there one player, though, in particular, who right now stands out to you?
But I have to say, Kevin, Victor Wembanyama, I don't know that we have ever seen a guy of that size do the things that he does. Now, you can say, oh, what about Nikola Jokic? Well, Nikola Jokic, first of all, is not Victor Wembanyama's size. And then Victor's handle and his length, the guy's incredible. He's going to be the face of the NBA for a long, long time.
And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Dan, you know, you think about Jimmy Butler, and you and I are fans of his game. Talk about a guy who calls it like he sees it, though. My goodness.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Look, Jimmy's never going to hold back. He'll call out his teammates. He'll call out opponents. He'll call out the referees. This guy acts with no fear.
Just don't call out the broadcasters, right? We want to stay out of his range.
And he would have no reason to.
Exactly. Edwards holding off the D and converts.
Well, when Edwards gets this on, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
And so Steve Kerr calls for the timeout. He wants to talk to his guys. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Pass to Butler. Back to Curry. Gobert with the block.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending.
Edwards looking it over. Terrific touch. Edwards showing finesse. And the Warriors with possession here. Up top, Curry. 20 points for him. Minnesota with the rebound.
Now we talk about the importance of protecting the rim. Right there, outstanding defense.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Now here's Curry. Fires from the line. Another miss by Curry.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
Last year, Coach, as you know, the Timberwolves making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that equaled their deepest run in team history, dropping that series to the Mavs. Minnesota has never been to the finals, one of 5 franchises who've yet to get there. I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report. Edwards.
And Edwards slams it in.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
And we've got a timeout called by Steve Kerr. And Coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Pass to Payton. Lajemski on the wing. Over Randall. Butler on the wing. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Just 4 to shoot. The shot by Curry, no good.
Yeah, you wonder what is he thinking right now. He's not shooting the ball well, and shots like that only hurt his team more.
Out to Payton. Curry deciding where to go with it. The tray. Gobert pulls it in.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Here's Edwards. Outside Conley. Edwards inside. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And it goes on Draymond Green.
Second team foul.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle against.
And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for Golden State. It's a 10-point game. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thank you very much. The Timberwolves have become a rough and rugged team. Swingman Jaden McDaniel said, "We don't let nobody push us around. We're always being physical defensively. I feel like we're a tough team, super tough." And Kevin, they certainly have the size to hold their own.
Always being physical. But, David, that's their identity. And we thank you for the report. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. For Minnesota, they have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6. Free throw good, Edwards.
And team-wide, they've been terrific from the line here. Just one of those nights when the confidence has spread from one player to the next.
Warriors trail by 12. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Hammering it home.
And everything Butler does, he does with a bang, including those 2 points.
Edwards drawing the double team. It's Edwards on the wing. Inside, Edwards finishes strong.
Well, look, it's tough to keep Edwards out of the lane and tough to stop him once he's in there.
Butler in the corner. Three-pointer. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Minnesota up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We come back right after this. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. We see coaches stand willing to pay fines for complaining about the officiating. I'm having a hard time thinking if you ever did that. Going back in my Rolodex here. Did you? Did you ever do that, Coach?
I mean, Kevin, I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines in the NBA. Yeah. My wife was not real happy about that at one point, reminding me early on that we had 4 kids we were going to try to put through college. And she told me one year I just gave away 2 college educations.
Oh, goodness. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, here's what Chris Finch went over with his guys during the break. He said to them, keep building this lead, guys. Don't take your foot off the gas. Keep working hard, run our stuff, guys.
Thanks, David. Edwards' shot is good.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
Here's Curry with the three. Gobert pulls it in.
Might be time for a little different approach. His shot hasn't been falling here in the second half.
Warriors trailed by 14. Outside Curry. Back to Hield. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Curry with the bucket. Curry's got 24 points.
I mean, what can we say about Steph's jumper that hadn't already been said?
A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Now Edwards. And Looney sends it back to the inside. Hield can't hit. Timberwolves leading by 12. Here's Edwards. And it's Looney with the rebound. Curry with it. Conley picks him up. And it's Stephen Curry with a three. 27 points for him.
And for the defense, that is a heart-sinking moment when you see him that wide open from beyond the arc.
Outside Edwards. Edwards at the rim.
Well, look, you can't let Edwards get this close to the rim because he will dump it on you.
Here's Curry. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Back to Edwards. Edwards on the bounce. And Edwards with the stuff.
What a ferocious drive by Edwards, fending off the defense with ease.
Warriors trailed by 13. Outside Curry. Pass to Podziemski. Back to Curry. Gobert with the block. Timberwolves leading by 13. And finished off by Edwards.
Love the pass there from Gobert. Always nice when your big man feeds his teammates.
Curry outside. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Well, he's trying to shoot his way out of it from distance. But look, he's got to find something easy.
And they pick up two.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes. Well, that's what you're looking for. Shots from point-blank range.
And the Timberwolves call time. They're in front by 15.
Give yourself a round of applause.
1:36 left to play in the final quarter. Edwards, good.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot two at the free throw line.
Clever move by Curry, taking the foul, but still getting the shot off.
Hey, guys, What do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Timberwolves?
Well, they've been owning the painted area offensively. I love the intensity they're playing with down there.
Minnesota leading by 15.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Timberwolves.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Anthony Edwards.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
And you know they feel good giving their fans a show here while taking care of business.
Yep, the crowd gets to go home feeling good about the win tonight. Their team looked impressive.
That one is off.
What you appreciate most about Curry is his confidence, especially when it comes to how far he can connect from.
Every point matters in a game like this. We should remember that missed free throw when it's all said and done.
Edwards drives in. Free throw good, Edwards. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. .35 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Spencer. Gobert with the block. Pass to Edwards. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
He's built like a linebacker, Edwards is. So tough to stop.
And Edwards drops them both. .17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Spencer.
Buddy Hield. The assist, Spencer.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that'll do it, folks. So for Stan Van